Hello, Internet. My name's Matt, and welcome to Telling Tales. We make atmospheric tabletop role-playing live streams, and we put them out there for you to watch. That's what you're doing now. You already know that. Before we go any further in tonight's Symbaroum game, let's bring on our stream manager momentarily, John, who will appear on screen. Don't be alarmed. And John's going to be helping us with shuffling cams around, putting images on screen, helping with our private chat, wielding the banhammer, doing all these fun things. How are you doing tonight, John?
I'm doing all right. I'm slightly lopsided, which I didn't prepare for, but it doesn't matter because I'm not going to be on screen. Hopefully, unless something goes wrong.
Not unless everything goes wrong.
I am an omen of failure.
But what if you being lopsided is the thing that's gone wrong?
I need to go.
Terrible. Like I said, welcome to Symbaroum. Blurb stuff first. We've got a load of links down below. We've got our YouTube where all the VODs for all our series are stored if you want to catch stuff from the beginning. We've got social media, which is usually, but not always, at Telling Tales RP. We've got another ongoing series that we run every Tuesday here on Twitch. Same time, 8 o'clock GMT. That's Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. And this week, we've got something even more special. We've got our first big one-shot stream, which is happening this coming Saturday, February the 6th, from 3 o'clock in the afternoon GMT, running for a few hours. It'll be good. John is in it, the stream manager. Chris, who plays Theo in this, is being the stream manager. The world is topsy-turvy. Nothing makes sense anymore. Come join us for that, because it'll be really, really good and horrific. And that's what we all want, really, isn't it? We've also got a link to our Patreon down below. If you like us and feel like supporting us, you can do so there. Without any further ado, let's bring on the players and introduce them and their characters, and they can talk about what happened in last session, because the group is going through the Tomb of Dying Dreams, which is exactly as fun and uplifting a place as you would imagine. So first on today is Mike, who plays Anton, our resident Theurg of Prios and healer, support guy, and just friendly neighborhood priest, really. Hi, Mike.
Hi, and stabbing post for enemies.
Yeah, that too. I mean, everyone is kind of that, to be fair. Yeah. But I guess Anton's the one that doesn't fight back so much.
Yeah, as evidenced in the last session.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of the last session, why don't you tell us what happened?
Yeah, so we're in the Tomb of Dying Dreams. We're not very far in, and we are presented with like a chamber that has a big gate at one end of it, and we're trying to find our way through the gate. And with the help of a sort of a scrappy note that we found, and one or two sort of other things, we try and pray to open the gate. Pray to, I've forgotten the name of the guy. Ancient King god.
Curian Lo Apac.
That's the one. So we're trying to pray to him to get in. Steer has a go. Doesn't work. Anton pointlessly has a go. Doesn't work again. And yeah, we're getting a bit perturbed at this point. And then
help from the unlikeliest of sources.
Exactly.
It's just like Fellowship of the Ring. Only instead of a hobbit solving it, it was Ephanea, played by Elle, our resident huge barbarian lady with a big sword.
Who is quite different to hobbits, I'd say.
A little bit different in every single way, yes.
So, yeah, counter to how Ephanea normally is, she somehow solved a thinky problem. Admittedly, by being very impatient. So obviously we had received a note telling us to like kneel in front of this gate and sign and do a bunch of things. And after praying for hours and nothing happening, Ephanea was grasping at straws and thought, oh, maybe it means sign, like to sign off a letter. And because there were no quills to hand, cut her palm open and used her own blood, because she's just goth like that, to write on this one bit of above the gate, which had it was like a plaque, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and there was like plaques. 2 plaques down the side that were dusty. and hadn't been used. And there was this one plaque that looked like it was actually used fairly recently. So started to write her name on it. That in itself didn't do anything, but I believe one of I can't remember who it was that noticed the writing that was already on there would glow when Ephenea traced it, and thus she traced it with her non-bloody hand, and the gate opened. It was very exciting. A heat-activated sign gate.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah, and there you were, somewhat gobsmacked. I mean, not to judge Ephenea, but somewhat gobsmacked that Ephenea was the one who figured the way through the gate. And then you went through the gate. And to take us through what happened in the rest of the session, let's bring on our third player. Our third and fourth player will explain, but let's bring on Sam, who plays Ascarai, Changeling, Archer, and Knife Man. And what happened next?
Well, we went through this gate. We kind of wedged it open in worried that we wouldn't be able to get back out. Headed, I think, down some stairs, up some stairs. Up some stairs. And we took a turn and emerged into a room that seemed like it had been mostly ransacked already by somebody. There was a body in the middle, a scorch mark on one of the walls, and a couple passages off to the sides. We did briefly worry about someone else coming through the gate, so we turned back and nearly killed Ephenea, but just about avoided it. We came back to the room and we just I
don't mean to naysay, but I think it was actually kind of the reverse in that at first... Or did you go... No, you're right. Did you shut the gate?
No, we left it wedged open, and then we were worried that because we'd wedged it open, someone would come through after us, some baddie. So we went back to see if we could close it and still get out, and then very, very nearly killed Ephenea.
Yeah.
But for a bit of GM mercy, I think, and so we left it wedged open, basically.
Yeah, because you've basically figured that you couldn't get out.
Yeah.
Without.
Better that than being stuck in. And so we kind of investigated this room. We didn't find too much of interest. I think we did find that the body belonged to the person who was kind of leading the expedition for the Ordo Magica, I think.
Yeah, that's correct. And you also found basically a kind of recipe on her person for a kind of purple elixir, perhaps is related to the purple flowers that survived whatever devastation has happened to the forest nearby.
Yeah.
And to take us through at the end, what happened at the end of last session, which was great and happy, and no one's been hurt at all. Let's bring on Chris, our final player, who plays Steo, our curmudgeonly but kindly town guardsman and PTSD veteran of the necromancy wars. He's also on mute.
Hi everyone, I am on 1 HP after a complex and long engagement with some animated ancient suits of bronze armor that started sauntering up the stairs after we were about to leave the room and get on with our gosh darned adventure. These things initially got dispatched in swift order by the human chainsaw that is Ephenea, but unfortunately, when they land their hits, they do hurt quite a bit, and it does take Ephenea. It takes Ephenea to kill them in one turn. Everyone else seems to take 2 or 3 turns to bring them down. So I believe we're all kind of took quite a beating from these friendly armor friends. I think we've dispatched 2 of them.
I think that sounds about right. I do have a lovely little map here I have, which I won't show to the camera because it's actually not lovely. It's terrible, but it tells me what's happening.
Not to Mike's standards.
It's definitely not up to Mike's standards. So essentially, what is happening at the moment in the combat is that we've got kind of 3 of the party kind of forming a rough front line against sort of wave after wave of these animated suits of armor covered in glowing runes and with fire burning inside them. And at the moment, on one side of this front line, we've got Urfons, your goblin companion with a very big sword, and he's just dispatched his opponent and looking to move on to the next. Then we've got Ephanea, who's engaging 2 of them, because that's the kind of thing Ephanea does. Ephanea has battered both of these down pretty considerably, I'd say, and hasn't taken too much damage. Is that right?
Yeah, I haven't. I'm just above a third down health-wise,
So
but
not too bad.
yeah.
Not too bad. And then we've got Steo. Steo is fighting one of them, and another one is kind of trying to move around the side of Steo, which means he got a bit of an opportunistic hit on them. And both of them are certainly damaged, but not as damaged as Steo, who is kind of anti-tanking this encounter. And has, as I believe he said at the beginning, 1 point of toughness left. So that's fun. And then in the kind of rear line, we've got Antom and Ascarai. Ascarai has just been flinging arrows out there and is currently kind of not engaged by any of these things. Antom is fighting one directly and not entirely successfully, but also not horribly? Question mark. How many toughness have you got left, Mike?
I've got 4 points left out of 10.
Better than me.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Out of interest, how much does Ascarai have?
Ascarai has not been hit.
Okay, good. So,
Bravely standing in the back.
So, yeah, there we go. John, do you still have the initiative order left over from last time? If not, I think I can. Yeah, there we go. Lovely. So, although I would say, because I did notice it last time, but I didn't bring it up in the heat of battle. But Urfons is with an S rather than a Z, because spelling it with a Z makes him sound like he's the kind of proto Henry Winkler, from which all other Henry Winklers are just, you know.
I was really hoping that was the case. Now I don't even want him with us. Just stay home.
He can leave you during this combat if you want. Yeah. Okay, so let's kick straight back off. More combat. So Ascarai, you're not engaged with anyone. You suspect that the suit of armor that's kind of trying to come around the side of Steo seems to be kind of coming towards you. But, you know, you can't exactly verify this by getting a good look at them because it's just an animated suit of armor. But you suspect that it's coming towards you. Otherwise, as I say, there are 2 fighting Ephanea, both of whom seem quite beaten up. The one fighting Steo that does seem somewhat beaten up, but Steo is you can see kind of blood running between the scales on his armor. Steo looks to be in serious trouble, and Antom next to you is fighting off another one of them, and it isn't, is struggling a bit.
Do I have enough actions to draw my dagger and run in to help Steo fight the one he's fighting?
Yes, you absolutely do.
Okay, I will do that. I will just drop my bow, run in with my dagger, and try and get into the fight with Steo because it's looking bad.
Actually, I say that, but is drawing a weapon a movement action? I think it might be.
Yeah, I think it could be. I don't know how far they are.
Yeah, I don't think that applies for the dagger, right?
Because does it have is it a keyword quick?
I think the keyword's small.
Okay.
Maybe John could check that.
Let's just have a double check. It should be fairly easy to find because the keywords are at the beginning of. No, they're not there at the end. So the keyword short. Yes, the weapon can be drawn as a free action and can be used with the feint ability. Yes, absolutely. So yes, you can absolutely do that. Right. So, okay, yeah, charge on in and go ahead. Their defense, which I swear I had prepped at the beginning of this stream and now it's vanished. But I'm probably lying. Good lord. Their defense is +3. So they're fairly easy to hit.
Okay. I think that means I need an 18 to hit since I'm going to use feint, which gives me advantage. And I got an 8, so I make it.
Excellent. Give me that damage roll.
Which is a D6 and a D4. I got a total of 3.
Okay.
2.
Well, it may not surprise you to learn that does not penetrate its armor. Good lord, why is my PDF here literally keeps switching pages? There we go, lovely. Yes, that does not penetrate its armor, and you kind of hack away and you chip kind of chunks out of the bronze and the runes on the front, but it doesn't seem to register your attack as it, starts as it's confronting Steo, as Steo is kind of slightly wobbling on his feet, bearing his halberd. Okay, let's go to Ephanea. So, Ephanea, you're fighting 2 of them. One of them is definitely like a bit more banged up than the other, but both of them are, still fearsomely attacking you.
I'm going to go for the more banged up one, as I learnt my lesson last session and want to just dispatch them as quickly as I can before trying to take on multiple, ironically. So,
Sure.
dice rolling time. How much was it? +3?
+3 on their defense. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, 18. So I make it. Yeah, because I think that's what happened last session, was that Ephanea I just kept on rolling badly and didn't hit anything.
You did roll badly, and and because you were rolling badly and alternating between them, it's like they were just coming down in little chunks each.
So yes, I hit, and now for the damage roll. So I got 1d4. Which I roll a 4 on, 1d6, which I roll a 4 on, and 1d12, which I roll a 1 on. But I do 9 points of damage.
Fine. 9 points of damage altogether, yeah. So as you register kind of Ascarai dashing in alongside you, which some part of your brain under the red haze kind of realizes this probably means things aren't going very well. And in response, you sort of backdraw your huge longsword of black gift across and just cut straight through one of the remaining glowing guards, and the pieces of armor scatter to the floor with a great clattering. One
Time
down.
to get serious.
Nice.
Time to get serious. So let's do the guard attacks, and I think we're going to do these in reverse order of seriousness. So we'll have the attack. One of them is attacking Ephanea first, and we'll have that. Give me a defense roll at -3, please.
Okie dokie. So
In
5
fact, give me 2, remember, because they have 2 attacks. Remember, so give me the 2 of them.
Do so. I got 9, so nope, and then I got 9 again, so nope. However, obviously, I will negate some of the damage being done to me.
Yeah, give me those armor, the armor roll, and
rolls.
Your OP. Oh, pardon me, OP Berserker roll.
So my base defense was a 3, and then +1 for my extra, so that's a 4.
Hey, that's not how you do armor.
Armor?
You roll your armor.
Yeah, my arm. What I mean is my armor, and then
right. When you said your base toughness is a 3.
Yeah.
But did you do it twice because you got 2 hits?
So I got 4 on one, and then I got 5 on the other.
4 on one and then 5 on the other. Yep.
Yes.
The one remaining kind of flickers its swords through the air and kind of takes advantage of the slight kind of overswing that you've done to strike the other one down, but just catches you like a slight nick across your upper arm. So take 1 toughness, please.
Okie dokie.
So that one's dealt with. I'd say that the one kind of moving around Steo is now, the one moving around Steo is now going to engage Steo, and the one fighting Steo is going to engage Ascarai, because you're all in one big group.
Don't forget that if he's going to engage me, I'm pretty sure I get an attack on him. Because
I
remember,
think you're all in the same engagement.
no,
because he's moving within your
prone.
engagement. Yeah, but I think that makes sense to them though, because they're not thinking things. You know, they're like the Ascarai is now there, so the one it makes sense in my head. So, but that's fine, I think. Yeah, but let's just do the one attacking Ascarai first, then. So, Ascarai, can you give me 2 defense rolls at -3, please?
Yep. We'll need a 10. I get a 1. Nice.
That's a
And
perfect defense.
a 14. So one good one.
But one good one, and that's a free attack, right? A perfect defense.
I think so.
I think. Yeah, well, let's take care of that let's take care of the damage first for the other strike before you do this, right? So give me an armor roll.
This is just a D4. I get a 1.
Okay. So as it's the one engaging Steo kind of whirls round to you and comes at you, blades flashing in the torchlight, and manages to stab you quite deeply in the shoulder with one strike, which does 4 toughness on you. But it's coming at you so hard and relentlessly that it's really very easy to try and get your dagger in its side as it comes at you. So let's go with that free attack. So that is an attack at +3.
Okay, so I need 18 again. Got a 5.
Nice. And then what's that damage?
Damage 8.
8. Okay. So yeah, your dagger kind of flashes into its side. 8, did you say?
Yep.
Aha. Yeah. As it comes at you and its sword kind of buries itself in your shoulder, you almost kind of hug tight to it and get your dagger, and it would be up between its ribs, like round the breastplate, but there's nothing there. You feel a brief kind of searing heat on the skin of your hand, and the armor just comes away and almost drags your dagger arm down with it as the sudden weight of the armor wraps around your wrist, but you kind of manage to back off and everything goes clattering to the floor in front of you. Nice. So that's that one gone. So now let's have the one attacking Anton, I think. So that's fun. So Anton, give me 2 defense rolls, please, at +3.
Nope and nope.
Good. So give me 2 armor rolls, please.
So I get 4 for the first attack.
Mm-hmm.
And then 6 for the second attack.
And you've still got your holy friend switched on, yeah?
Yeah, because it lasts until the scene ends, and I presume that even though we took a break in this session,
absolutely. So that included. So those are pretty good. So 4 for one and 6 for the other. You kind of, after your initial furious flailing on the thing, you're kind of trying to back up and measure it a bit more this time, and it's coming forward in a kind of weave of glittering bronze blades, and catches you lightly on the wrist with one of them for 1 toughness of damage. But the other blows either get caught in your robe or you kind of back off away from them in time.
3 health points remain.
3 health points remain. Steo, well, the first thing that happens, if this thing is... because you definitely did already get a free attack on it, but is it...
yeah, but it was moving past me, and now it is engaging me. So
now it's engaging you, so that's the different one. Yeah.
Yeah, the trick with this mastery is, and initially there were certain explicit criteria where it worked. The second level is it works under all reasonable criteria and for all reasonable numbers of enemies. And the third level is something completely different, which is also cool.
Cool. Well, then get your free attack on it. So that's an attack at +3, please.
Oh, lordy. That's a big round number.
Oh,
no.
I mean, it seems the kind of circumstance where, because that is going it's going to get
Yeah. Do you know what?
a fumble defense. I would
too.
Yeah, you're going to spend an XP for a reroll.
Let me check to see if I have enough XP. Yes, I have 1 XP. Oh, Lord. Okay, here we go again, chat.
How can you have 1 XP? Didn't we get 2 for last session?
Yeah, sorry. No, I have 2 total XP, so I go down to 1 now.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, not that twice. Okay, 16. That I think we make it with that. Let me double check. What was +3, yeah?
It was at +3, yeah, and your accurate is 15 or near
15,
it, isn't it? So, yeah, absolutely. So you get that hit in. Give me a damage roll.
Can I just not? Okay, it's a D10. 7. That's respectable.
7? Not bad. Not bad. As it moves forward to engage you, kind of visibly changing its target from Ascarai to you, it lurches towards you, and you kind of, now that Ascarai's taken the attention of the other one off you, you swing your halberd to bear and kind of crash it alongside its helmet, which clatters. I keep saying clatter. It falls to the floor with a great crashing noise and readies itself, but unfortunately does still strike you. So twice. So 2 defense rolls, please.
A 3. That must be good.
A defense rolls at -3, by the way.
Well, that's probably still makes it, because it's
probably still. What's your defense?
Defense is 10. Yeah, that totally.
Yes, you need 7s. Okay, so 1 of those does not hit you. Next.
Oh, lads, look. Okay. Before anyone says anything, there's the history. There are 2 3s there.
Steo lives to halberd another day.
Oh my god!
Oh my word! Look at that.
You still have another XP point to spend on a reroll. It wasn't even close in the end.
Yeah.
There
we go. Clutch defense rolls there from Steo. And now he gets to hit back.
Oh, yes. I fight.
So, an attack roll at +3, please, to try and finish this thing off. Looking fairly battered.
Oh, God. 8. That's a hit.
It is indeed a hit.
And 9
damage
on my
roll?
D10.
More than enough, Steo. More than enough. As the thing comes towards you, you took your attack of opportunity on it, and then swiftly backpedaled away from it, and its blades just carved air in front of you. You feel your old training, your old drill welling up in you, and you steady your back foot against the ground and heave forward with your halberd, and you cleave through the center of the breastplate. If it was a man, you'd have cut straight through their heart, and the armor falls apart and scatters along the floor, all the way to the walls. Excellent. Anton.
I'll do an attack, and if I roll a 20, I'm probably dead. But hopefully someone else can save me if I miss. They're really hard to hit, these guys, aren't they? So I don't think.
No, they're easy. They're easy to hit. They get a plus.
Oh, that's right.
3.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I make it. I needed a 7. I needed a 10. I got a 5.
Cool.
Nice.
So give me that damage roll.
6.
Okay. So yeah, your flail batters into a shoulder guard and knocks it aside, and you can see the kind of glowing flame underneath that flares up a bit in reaction to it and then dulls back down. So you are slowly, taking pieces off this thing. It's just, I was going to say you're a lover, not a fighter, but you're a preacher, not a fighter. Okay. Now Urfons. Urfons. In fact, let's narrate what Urfons does in a different way. Anton, you kind of ready yourself for the next strike, kind of desperately trying to duck back, aware that you're losing blood. and you probably can only hope to hold this thing off, and then a shining silver blade sears through the thing from shoulder down to where the hip should be, and you don't even really get a good look at Earthons. You just see the small goblin, a blur of motion as he spins off across the chamber towards another target, his sword searing through the air, kind of like seemingly in random patterns, but somehow keeping hitting these things and never hitting you.
Truly
So
a
there we go.
benevolent GM we have.
Earthons is pretty good.
He is a character. He is a character from the setting, and a notoriously good fighter. So it's handy to have one of them around in a party. So I don't mean a good fighter. I mean an NPC that can be the GM's
Shit.
proxy. FNA is
Go
a good
fuck
fighter.
myself then, I guess.
FNA is a good fighter. Steo on paper should be a good fighter.
Slade.
Chris rolls unlucky.
I mean,
So
also, it
background-
doesn't help that obviously I just happened to build the most broken character as well.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. Ascarai, we're back round to you. So now all there is one glowing guard is engaging FNA, and another one is that's it, I think. Yeah, everything else is done. We batter them apart. There's just one left on FNA. You know what? In fact, this is an entire combat round. Let's not do the entire combat round. I think I'm safe to say that everyone else is literally just going to leap on this thing, right? The group, the five of you, come together and surround the remaining being. Obviously, it shows no fear or it isn't scared for its existence in any way. It just comes apart under a hail of blows, and the ruined breastplate drops to the floor, the runes slowly fading out, and all around you in the chamber, you can kind of hear the distant echoes of the final blows through the passageways of the tomb, and then everything goes quiet and still.
Okay, so I think FNA won't have particularly noticed the damage that Steo or Anton have taken yet, so she's going to leave it to someone else to shout that they need fixing.
Well, if you're doing anything other than looking into the dark passage, you'll probably see me slump to my knees.
That's true.
Grasping my halberd.
Can you use Medicus on yourself? As a out of character question.
You absolutely can, yeah. It's also worth noting, and in extreme circumstances, Anton still has a certain bottle in his pack with 8 drafts of. You're on mute, by the way, Mike. 8 drafts of the
holy water
elixir. Yeah, the holy water of Prios, essentially.
8
dusk
charges
water?
left. Yeah, water of the dusk, I think it is.
Water
right?
of the dusk, yeah.
It is a special occasion, but I think on my knees I will start to try and appraise how much triage I can do on myself here.
Here's the question, though: have we already made Medicus rolls for ourselves today?
I have.
I have not made a Medicus roll on myself.
Okay. Maybe just Anton made them on multiple people, I think.
I think I made one myself as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I can make 2 Medicus rolls on. I can make a Medicus roll on myself and another character. I just can't do anyone twice.
I mean, having said that, actually, you went back to the outpost and you slept there overnight before you came to the tomb, and nothing else has given you damage on the way. I just wonder if you made some opportune Medicus rolls in the morning to just top yourself up a bit more.
Didn't we use not on ourselves, but I feel like the only Medicus rolls that we used were possibly to investigate the dead bodies.
Yeah,
okay.
That doesn't count.
Well, Mike definitely thinks he did one on himself, and I think at least one roll was made, so that's absolutely fine. So go ahead, Steo, if you want to start trying to bandage your wounds.
Yes, please. 13. It's a test against cunning, which is unfortunately only 10. Oh, it's 11, but still not good enough.
Sure.
I mean, there is a lot of blood. It would be an appropriate time for a bonus because there's plenty to bandage.
Yeah, and Tom, you can see Steo kind of slumped against the wall on his knees, desperately trying to bandage himself. He does not look like he's doing a good job of it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna I'm probably slumped to my knees as well, to be honest. And I'm just gonna motion over to FNA or Ascarai, whoever's paying attention, and just kind of reach into my robes and just take out the vial of Water of the Dusk, and just nod at them to go over to Steo and give them the treatment that he needs with it.
I will take it over to Steo. There you go. Looks like you need it.
No, I will.
So I believe a single draft of Water of the Dusk heals you for a D10.
I think that was the original, yeah. Oh, please, any good number. Oh, friends.
Oh,
God.
can you use Water of the Dusk multiple times?
Lads, I have just doubled my hit points. It's fine.
There's certainly a sense of diminishing returns with elixirs, I think. But as for the specific rules of Water of the Dusk, I'm not sure. You know what? Go ahead and do some role playing while I check.
Well, I can take a look at Steo. I'm gonna take a draft of the Water of the Dusk myself, and then I can maybe go over and give Steo Medicus potentially as well. So I'll roll a D10. 6. Okay, that's fine. Nice. I'm happy with that.
But you don't have any herbal cures left, do you?
Well, I do actually. And
you get a bonus.
Way back from Jacket's Heart, maybe I want to say. I've got a couple of herbal cures left, and I was going to ask how I use them and what benefits they provide. But I guess I can while that is
I believe herbal cures just flat out give you 1 toughness.
No, that's if you're untrained.
Yeah, I think if you use them with Medicus, it's either like an extra D4, maybe it turns your D4 to a D6, something like that, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know if someone wants to check that because I'm checking the Water of the Dusk at the moment. So.
I'll check.
Okay. Well, let me do a cunning roll to see if I can even use Medicus on Steo. Yes, I can. I needed 11 and I rolled 4.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, and you are an adept or a novice?
Novice. Very much a novice when it comes to healing rolls, Steo.
You give me 1d6.
No, I think it's a D4 if I'm novice. Or are you adding on the herbal cure here?
If it's a herbal cure, it's 1d6. Verified in the rulebook. I think.
Oh my God!
You roll it.
Oh no!
I rolled a 1.
Can only go well.
I'm sorry.
I can't see anything on Water of the Dusk specifically that forbids multiple drafts at one go. So
more Water of the Dusk.
John has also pointed out that your holy aura heals.
Yeah, but it feels like I was thinking about that, but using it outside of combat maybe feels a little bit and I'm stepping well out of character here, but it maybe feels a little bit game breaky in a way because it almost makes everything else redundant, in terms of Medicus and stuff like that. Because how do we define how a turn ends? I guess
you are risking corruption every time you do it. To be fair,
yeah, but a little bit of temporary corruption, I guess. But I guess the way that works normally is in combat rounds where there's rounds and you get healed each round maybe. But outside of combat, there's no rounds. So would you just say Anton cast Holy Aura until everyone is fully healed? It seems it sounds bloody great for the party right now, but in a kind of a GM sense, it sounds a bit game breaky.
Yeah. Basically, I do kind of agree. But how it works is that it's because it's an ongoing effect. What happens is that every round you test Resolute. So every tick of healing you test Resolute, and obviously if you fail it, then it goes away, and you'd have to cast it again and get more corruption again.
How long does temporary corruption last?
Well, I think it just lasts the scene. I could be wrong. We don't use corruption that much, do we? Because we just don't have much that causes it at the moment. Let me just have a quick check, but I believe it ends at the end of a scene.
John did say it until the end of the scene.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So what I'd say is like you're in a new scene now, right? So if you use it, then it's going to stack up. So it's up to you guys.
But that means that my temporary corruption from the scene that's just ended has now disappeared.
Yeah, I think that's fine to say. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll try and do that then. To roll against Resolute. Yes, I make it by 2.
So presumably Anton kind of takes one knee.
Clutches the pendant around my neck, and just emits a healing glow that spreads across the room to all living creatures. And this will heal everyone.
It will heal everyone. The chamber kind of lights up slightly, and almost, it's dank and cold down here, but there's a warmth rolling off Anton that bathes your wounds and makes you feel oddly reassured that even down here that perhaps the sun can see you. So I think it's a D4 tick per round of healing, right?
Yeah.
So everyone roll a D4 and heal that much, and then we'll have Mike make another Resolute roll. Oh, and roll your corruption. She's also a D4. Oh my god. Everyone else will be topped up to full.
No, I got a 1. I
also got a 1.
Oh my god. Fucking Anton, isn't it? It's
Anton's legacy lives on. If it was anyone else,
you've just STD'd your dice luck to these poor saps with a holy aura.
Just like to point out that I have made every roll successfully today, and I'm still getting crap.
You've given it to them.
A cursed player. Guys, great news! I'm fully healed. So,
did you roll your corruption?
I haven't rolled it yet because I got distracted by nonsense chat.
That's a D4, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, I roll 1 for temporary corruption, and I need to roll Resolute. If we're doing another round of it, I roll Resolute again. People need another round, I'm guessing, yeah?
Yeah.
Don't make it. I rolled 15 that time, and I needed 13.
It's fine.
Oh, my God. By the way, Water of the Dusk, I believe. I don't think anyone who's drunk it has a point of permanent corruption. Or maybe they do, because it also removes a point of permanent corruption.
Ooh.
Wow.
Whoa.
I'm not going to game it, but I could do with that. But obviously there's no way FNA would be like, I know what to, I just want to drink this water for no reason.
Yeah.
Okay, so in character, after watching all of this and seeing Steel a little bit more patched up, but still pretty damaged, both mentally and physically, I'm just going to, gesture towards him and just say, look, Anton, I know this stuff we've got is scarce, but there's no point in holding on to it if we don't get out of here alive. Let's just use another flask so we can.
Would you all
make our way
and stop rushing? We don't have to. Let's just go, regroup, and go through the caves.
I'd like to keep your innards on the inside, Steel.
I'm going to survive. I've been through worse. Not much worse, but I've been through worse. Don't rush and throw away flipping liquid gold for a situation that's no longer critical. Calm heads.
Steo, we're going to
Don't
need
make me
you.
pin you down, Steel.
We're going to need you in every fight that we have out of this place. We're not getting out of this tomb, out of the caves without you. And if we don't use this, Prios tells me that this vial is going to be half full and lying covered in dust for years to come. So take it now. Take it so we can use you and you can get yourself out of here.
Calm heads. But sure, look, I've been outvoted. I'll try another draft of the expensive fluid.
If you roll a 1 again.
Steel's like the equivalent
Oh, it's all right.
of, like, you know, in video games when you get given like a good item and you're like, I'm not going to use it in case I need it for like a better situation, and then like by the end of the game
And the
you've just
credits
got a
roll.
stockpile.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like that is
absolutely.
Steel right now.
Yeah, you have 80 health potions in your backpack.
Which-
Okay, so just to re-examine our surroundings here, because we talked about being in the chamber and the glowing guards. So the chamber you're in, as you alluded to at the beginning in the recap, is covered in kind of stone tables that have had urns and chests in the past that have been smashed apart and looted sometime in the not so distant past. There is kind of 3 pathways out of this chamber. One to the north, which is a large archway with a plaque over it that had suits of armor raising swords in the air. So, I wonder what that could have foretold. There is a passageway to the south through which the glowing guards emerged. And there is a passageway to the west, which is the one you came from, that leads back to the gate. In fact, I think Mike may well have an updated little map that he can show us there. Look at that. So there, that topmost room, that's where you guys are. So we know that the glowing guards came from the south, but we don't know what's down there. And we know that they emerged when you set foot in the passageway to the north, but you don't know what's up there. Self-explanatory?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not, because I just explained it.
I still think we should beat back for the day.
I agree.
You think we should head back now? I do not ever want to return to this after today.
Fons looks off to like that arched passageway to the north and says, I don't know about you, but I can smell it.
Money, is it, Erfons? I just smelt my own goddamn funeral.
I don't know about money, but definitely if we're here to purge this place or we're here to ransack it, I think both of them are up there. And I think we're nearly upon them.
Right. One more staircase, and then I'm going to bed, lads.
I should point out the only stairs you can see are the ones in the passageway behind you. The arched passageway itself is just seems to be a long, wide passageway, kind of with sort of flagstones along the floor.
Before we carry on, if you are done tending to your own wounds, I could use some help myself.
Yeah. Which, would you reckon, Anton? Flip a coin? Not that we've got any coins yet.
Yeah.
Would that we had.
Oh, look here! No, I found some shillings on those cards. Give me heads or tails.
For your benefit, Elle, by the way, basically there's currently
I've kept my headphones on.
All right, okay, that's all fine. That's all fine.
Heads or tails, Anton?
You go ahead, Steo.
You're no fun whatsoever. Come here, Askrai. Let me see what they've done to you.
It's nothing compared to what you got, but still.
Okay, so once again, we do a cunning check. Oh, I make it. Yeah, I can heal other people. And then it's
a D4.
1d4. And it's a 4. Good job.
Yes.
Nice.
I mean, I'm just going to point out, who just left temporarily.
Make a roll.
Gonna have to start kicking Mike out the call before every important roll. Just to
The thing is, Mike is just relocating, and I can see his cam while he's doing it, and I can see that he's laughing at this. There we go. So yeah, the general argument, I believe, is that Steo and Anton are in favor of retreating, kind of licking your wounds, and maybe I think you mentioned the different approach to this tomb that Xanathar had mentioned through the caves, and just kind of checking that out before you press on. And Earthons, on the other hand, is quite keen and seems to want to get this over with. And I think Askarai said, "I don't want to come here again."
yeah.
Afanea is very much so she's basically, look, if we were going to relocate and lick our wounds, why did we just, in your own words, Steo, use precious expensive water? We've all healed up.
Okay. How's Afanea looking? Is she dripping blood as well?
Oh, no. So kind of, yeah, out of character, Afanea took 4 points of damage and has healed 1. So she's like 12 out of 15 toughness. So basically,
Steel's going to like take a look and see, like, can I splint that up a bit better? Referring to a gash probably on a shoulder, I think. A shoulder.
I can't remember where I got hit, but
There's definitely at least one on an upper arm because we did that earlier. But yeah, you can make a Medicus roll.
Yeah, I'm going to give it another go. I once again pass the
healing
cunning
simulator.
check, and then I get another 4.
Nice.
I'm back up to full.
Yeah.
There we
Okay,
go.
and with that,
if there's
with
something
that-
bad through that corridor, let's make sure at least one of us is in fighting shape.
I mean, I would be with you and Anton Steele, but I'm just of the opinion that we've come this far, and I do not wish for another gate trap incident if we backtrack.
Yeah. Askarai, do you want to go ahead and you're the best, you're the fleetest of us.
I will do my best, and I'll head down the passage very cautiously.
Earthons is kind of a couple of paces behind you, and then the other three of you kind of coming in together.
Yeah, I think I'll kind of stash Afanea in front of me because in this situation she's probably less.
Oh,
likely.
she's taking the lead. Like, I am taking the lead in this because I am, I'm filled with adrenaline and I am the least damaged out of all of us. So I want to protect everyone.
But just before you leave this chamber, Anton, your eyes kind of linger on one of those the runed breastplates that have crashed to the floor during this fight, and just give me a cunning roll because you've got ritualist, haven't you?
Yeah.
Just give me a cunning roll on that.
A cunning roll. I need 11, 16.
Your eyes linger on the breastplate. Nice breastplate, you think? And that's all. You stride under that archway onto into the wide flagstoned passage to the north of the chamber you were in, and the corridor opens up even wider very shortly into a short colonnade that leads after 20 or so more feet up to a podium about 3 feet high. And on top of that, on a partly crumbled throne of stone, once beautifully sculpted, sits the beheaded remains of King Hurien Lo Apac, with his hands on a spear lying over the throne's armrests. On a pedestal next to the throne is a small carafe made from a translucent volcanic glass. It contains something that none of you have seen before, but which literally radiates darkness. I believe we have an image, which handily does not show the podium with the thing on it.
Is this guy just like huge?
Yes, he is.
Okay, good. Because I was confused as to whether it was like a perspective thing, or so he clearly wasn't human, or he was just a very, very, very big human.
You really couldn't say. I mean, the skull of the copper crown was quite large. So,
well, fellas, I believe we found the owner of the crown.
off to one side of the room, by the way, on the right-hand side is a large bronze door, which seems to have been sealed into its frame with a number of pieces of stone that have been kind of fastened or cemented on, perhaps somehow, around the rim of it, each of which has an elaborate Symbaric rune crafted into it.
I think we found the vile waters as well.
We're not to touch those.
Yeah, have we though? Because the spider goddess told us that it was in the depths of the tomb, and we're not actually that far down. We've gone down, but then we've come back up. So,
just to cut off this particular chicken in a basket, that like depths could also just mean far reaches of something.
True.
Still, Zanafa did not want us to take this. She just wanted us to open the way.
I'd say the way is open.
I'd say I have never wanted a spear more in my life. What do you reckon? Cursed? Very cursed? Or just death?
Almost definitely cursed.
We've come here on the promise of plunder.
Irfon's kind of takes a couple of steps towards it and sort of, with the hilt of his blade, kind of taps the spear a little bit. Dust kind of shakes off it a bit, and a bit like a small fraction of the mummified king's finger just kind of crumples to the floor. And he says, well, I know I trust it a lot more than the bottle of shadows there.
Yeah.
Aye, but remember what happened last time someone took something from this guy.
Aye, and remember the last time someone picked up a weapon that they found lying around as well. I'll shoot F&A a glance there.
Is there anything else in here that anyone is taking a particular look at?
So, could I get, so obviously there's guy, spear, headless, and then what was...
There's the carafe, or kind of like elaborate bottle of liquid next to him on a podium that is literally soaking in light as the light from the torchlight approaches it. It's radiating darkness. And there's a door over on the right-hand side, a large bronze door that seems to have been sealed with stone runes.
So I am going to ask if anyone can read those runes. If there's some sort of warning. Has it been sealed from like the out, like as in like no one is to go in, or something is not
they're
come
sealed
out?
so that no one can open the door.
Yeah.
Or that seems to be the intention. But you can't. Yeah, I mean, no one in the group has Lawmaster, so no one is reading those runes, I'm afraid.
Okay.
I will. Go ahead.
I will still go and just inspect this door for anything I can see of relevance.
Sure. Stia, what are you taking a look at?
I am plucking up the courage and going up to the king. I will just kind of bow towards his desiccated corpse slightly and go, Your Highness, how would you like a slightly more modern weapon than that rusty old spear? It's not, when I appraise the spear, it's not like the same bronze that the guys were using, was it? Is it built of better stuff?
Oh, it's altogether built of better stuff, yes. It is. In fact, I think I have a more elaborate description for you here. It looks to be it's made of like the haft is made of like a very lightweight iron, and the head is made of some kind of bronze inlaid with gold. It looks like well, why don't you give me a cunning roll? A cunning roll at a +3, I think.
Okay. Oh wow, I got a 3, which is more than enough.
This is a masterly crafted weapon. You've rarely seen its like.
He's already lost. I'm vocalizing this now. He's already lost his head, and he's not technically losing a weapon. He's just getting a more modern one. Better steal. Better steal. Better steal it. I'll swap my weapon with his and place my halberd across his chair.
I'm just going to steal that there are not enough words that I can use to describe how much of a bad idea I think this might be.
Ephenea, you catch fire when you want to, and I will have none of this.
Yes, but we didn't know that this was going to happen with this big scary lady.
So just for future reference, Chris, in case we should get into any more trouble, can you note down that the spear, as you'd imagine, is a long weapon, which you already have presumably stats for. So, but it has the quality long, but it also has the qualities deep impact and precise.
Wow!
So
all qualities you want
really
in a long spear.
Oh,
have
and
a cool
this
name?
funny quality called horribly cursed. I don't know whether.
I can't believe I am getting this much flack from a party who regularly see the barbarian catch fire and go into an uncontrolled rage. It's some form of discrimination, and I don't like it.
It's fine.
So I believe, Askarai, you mentioned you were taking a look at those runes. And Tom, are you looking at anything in particular?
Yeah, I was probably going to go and look at the door as well, specifically the runes around it. And I know that I can't read them, but like I have been sort of making notes of the Symbaric symbols I've been seeing around the place, and like I have scraps of notes and stuff like that. And I just wanted to like compare and see if there's any kind of like patterns emerging of like.
Sure. You know what? I think that's absolutely fine. And you know what? I'm going to let you make a roll. I'm going to let you make a cunning roll, and I'd normally knock it down by -5. But you know what? I'm going to knock it just down to -3. One, because you've got Askarai looking as well, and Askarai's a vigilant guy, and because you gave a pretty good description there of a rationale why you might be able to get some meaning out of it. So cunning at -3, please.
Okay, I need 11. 18.
Yeah. Unless you're spending XP on that, head nor tail.
I am not spending XP on it.
Okay. Elle, could you make a resolve roll at -5, please?
No. Yeah, sure. I suppose. Let's see what my resolve is. My resolute is 10, so I've got to hit 5.
Resolute, sorry, not resolve.
I hit 4.
Okay.
Nice. Don't worry.
Okay. What are we doing next?
So, Ephenea wants to tentatively check the water, the big black vial, the BBV, if you will, and so yeah, she's going to kind of go closer to that cautiously, and just kind of, I guess,
you're going to have a look at the black water.
Yeah. What is it, vigilant or whatever it is?
Sure.
To look at it.
Well, I mean, you won't need to roll that, but yeah, sure. What Askarai and Anton, are you moving on from anything else? Are you doing anything else?
Probably still. The runes on this door, are they written? I guess it doesn't appear anything like the ones by the gate.
I mean, it's the same language, certainly. They're Symbaric runes, and they're inscribed on stones which have been fastened onto this bronze
Okay. I might try like tracing the runes, prodding the runes a bit,
Sure.
just trying stuff.
Doing similar things.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing seems to happen from doing that.
Yeah.
Anton?
It turns to the party. Have we done what we set out to do here? Have we achieved everything? There is some of the vile water for the spider goddess.
I would question. I wonder, and I'll gesture towards the sealed off door. Could this possibly have something to do with the door that stops Zenatha entering? Because if so, then we have not set out, and I do not want to displease the giant spider goddess any more than I have to.
I mean,
agree.
those seals, could they break off, or are they like fused in? What do you reckon?
They could definitely be broken off. You know, it's old stone, some kind of old cement-like mixture. There's a hammer. I believe one of the things you also got from the leader of the Ordo Magica Expedition's body was a set of fine sort of exploration tools like brushes and things like that. And in that is a small, it is a small but sturdy hammer and chisel.
Okay.
We need to do something else to complete the task as Zenatha asked us, I think. It must be more than just the gate we came through. This door seems like the most likely solution.
I would be amazed to learn that all that stood in her way is a small hammer. I do not believe that is what is going to grant us entry into this gate.
I wouldn't believe stone would glow when you touched it until about half an hour ago. So I don't think this stone is just stone, although I'm pretty sure the hammer is just a hammer.
Well, there's only one way to find out, and in a typical FNA way.
There's also go back to the College of Masters and research it exhaustively for 10 years, but I think we're in too deep at this stage.
Yeah. FNA is going to take a hammer and just say, and kind of turn to everyone and say, look, stand back a bit. If anything comes out of this, I don't want you guys to be in any more danger. She will tentatively be like kind of try and get rid of just not the whole thing, but like a bit of the runic stuff around the door.
So sorry, sorry, what? Sorry,
you were saying with a hammer.
I completely lost track here. With the hammer. I mean, it's that big. It doesn't need FNA to swing it. Like it's like that big.
Oh, in that case, she's
it's
just
like a hammer and chisel. Yeah. Sorry. What? So what are we doing? Sorry, I lost track of the discussion. I'm afraid.
So
FNA is about to break one of the seals.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you're tapping away at it. I mean, give me a strength roll at +2.
Yeah. Right. So I need 17, and I have achieved 8. So yeah.
Okay. One of the seals, like you batter away one of the seals, and it just comes off and like falls to the ground. There are like about 20 of them around it. So
does anything noticeably change with the no? All right. She's just gonna set to work trying to just kind of one at a time, just get rid of the rest of them, however long that may take. But with each one that she gets rid of, she's going to like check to see if anything happens with the door or anything happens with just a quick glance if anything happens with the corpse.
Sure. Can you give me another resolute roll at -5, please?
Oh lordy. That is a straight 14 right there.
Okay. I mean, is that a fail?
It's absolutely a fail. I needed a 5.
Okay. Ephenea drops the hammer and chisel, which isn't exactly a massively dramatic moment, and starts staring off into space.
F&A.
Really? FA.
I'm gonna need GM to
No,
tell me whether I can hear that or not. Because if I'm staring off into space, I'm not sure how aware I am.
It's as we agreed beforehand.
Okay, so
yes.
okay, so
Ephenea cannot hear. No.
Askerai, you're still with me, yeah?
I'm here.
Could you?
no, she's Ephenea is gonna turn around and just kind of shake her head slightly and just kind of pick up the hammer and chisel and just turn around again.
Are you okay, Ephenea?
Is she going to do that? Sorry. I thought we had arranged stuff, but yes. Sorry. Ephenea is possessed and is intent on. So Ephenea stands up, drops the hammer and chisel, turns and starts walking towards the vile water.
Oh, okay. I'm going to intervene at that point and just kind of rush between Ephenea and the vile water and try and stop her as best I can.
Okay, so at being stopped, Ephenea will just kind of try and, bat Anton to one side. I'm guessing, make a strength roll or something. But
yeah, sure. A contested strength roll sounds about right. What's your strength, Anton? What's your strong? Sorry, you're on mute.
7.
Okay, can you make a strong roll at +3, please, Elle?
I can indeed.
Quite.
Yes, I needed 18 and got an 8.
Okay. Anton kind of is easily shoved aside and crashes to the floor.
Okay, I'm gonna barrel in there with a bit more strength and one, do it from a flanking position, and to really like a tackle maneuver is what I want.
Can I
Sure.
go in with Steo to
Yes,
help?
you absolutely can. Yes.
Okay.
In that case, again, we're just going to have Ephenea make the rolls, I think. So what's your strength, Steo?
My strength is 13.
Okay. And what is your strength, Askerai?
It's bad. My strength is 7.
Okay. So first off, let's deal with Steo. And you know what? I'll just add a point to your respective strengths to reflect like you kind of going in together, right? So Ephenea, if you can make a strength roll at -4, please.
Mm-hmm. Will do. So I will need to hit 11. Under 11. Nope, got a 16.
Okay. And let's. I don't think we need to even make the other one. So Steo, you've kind of, stepped up to Ephenea. Kind of, are you trying to tackle her down to the ground, or have you just?
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to put her on the floor where I can restrain her.
Okay. Well, I think in that case, let's have Steo make an opposed strength roll to see if you manage to wrestle Ephenea down, or if you're just kind of desperately trying to hold her in one place. So if you could make a strong roll, safe to say that your strong is 15, right, Elle?
Uh-huh.
Strong roll at -5, please.
So
I fail.
Okay, so Ephenea is currently held in one place, but it isn't kind of being pulled back or to the ground or anything like that.
So I'm going to assume that, yeah, so they're kind of holding me in one place as I'm trying to get to. So with that happening, I'm going to get, because I have a dagger on my person as well as Black Gift. And Black Gift seems like it'd be unwieldy in this circumstance. I'm going to get a dagger and basically attempt to cut, like just get rid of the arm that is holding me back.
Sure, yeah. Rather than make that like an attack, because I don't think, like, I think A, Steo won't be expecting it, and B, like, you'll just grab it. The arm's there, right? You don't have to kind of like roll to hit it or whatever. Instead, Steo, let's give you a quick roll opposed by Elle Strong. So give me a quick roll at -5, please, to see if you basically get the chance to move aside.
This is a 5 or lower, everyone. It's a 7. That's heartbreaking.
So what's the damage on that dagger? Give me a damage roll on the dagger.
Let's find out. What I just need to quickly check and find out.
Is it D4 or something?
Yeah.
1d6 for a dagger.
What?
I mean, maybe I got it wrong.
It is D6 for a dagger.
Okay, good.
D4 is like punching, I think.
That isn't because you've got feint or something, is it?
No, that gives me an extra D4, so I roll a D6 and D4 for damage.
Okay.
A 2.
My dagger just got upgraded.
Okay. And give me an armor roll, Steo.
Okay.
Probably make it a 2, I imagine.
11. My armor is 10. Sorry, my defense is 10. My armor is not a D20.
Correct. Wish it was.
4.
Okay, yeah. You don't notice her do it, and your armor seems to be holding up. But Effene has drawn her dagger and seems to be trying to sever your arm off to prevent you from restraining her.
Can I see this?
You can definitely see this, and Anton, you can now scramble to your feet and you know, get back in the game.
I'm going to pounce on that arm that is moving, and also like don't know if I would have time to do this, but like, does this strike me as like similar to when she was possessed in the Forest of Devakar on the way to the tombs, or is this more like a sign of like a corruption thing that's going on?
I mean, I think that possession, and correct me if I'm wrong, when you were fighting the Omulkun creature, or at least near the Omulkun creature, correct me if I'm wrong, Elle, but was that more of kind of like a reverie, a stupor?
Yeah, I'd say it wasn't a possession. It was if someone were to look at me, I would have just been like 1,000-yard stare, because I was just stuck in these memories. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think it's it doesn't seem like that. Like Effenea has like calm to the point of emotionless look on her face, and seems to be just attempting desperately to stride towards the vile water on the podium.
I will join with Anton grabbing this arm, but can I try and take the dagger?
You can certainly give it a go.
I realize this is unlikely.
Why don't you roll? Strong at -5.
Oh, God.
It's not going to go well. I need a 2. We'll see. Never know. But 13.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, you're not getting that off Effenea. Who's not desperately... well, Mike, you said you were kind of pouncing on it as well. Let's have a... everyone but Effenea roll vigilant at -5, please, because I think you're pretty distracted with this.
Yep.
No, what are you on about? You know, a teammate turned not teammate. Nothing to worry about.
I fail.
I needed 8. I rolled 10.
Oh, -5. Did not make it.
Okay. Well then, shall we go with your strength? I think we should go with your strength again for a round. So the 3 of them are kind of on you now. And Askarai's been trying to wrestle the dagger out of your hand, so he's probably not restraining you. Steo is definitely still restraining you, and I think Anton is more or less trying to restrain you. So why don't we have Ephanea make a strong roll, modified by Anton's strength, which I think was 7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so roll strong at +3 to see if Anton manages to hold you back from moving closer to the vile water.
+3 or -3, sorry.
+3. +3.
Cool. All right, so, yeah, I got a 2.
Okay. Then let's have it against Steo. Steo, your strong is 13, am I right in saying? Okay, then give me another strong roll, please, Elle, at -3.
Got it. Oof, that is a 20.
That is a 20. Okay, I'm going to judge for that basically Steo manages to kind of... basically, Steo, you realize that you could probably help matters if you lost your feet. So you literally kind of drag your feet out from under you and sort of crash to the ground with alongside Ephanea, and kind of Anton, you kind of stagger back a bit as you kind of come away. Kind of you were trying to pull Ephanea back unsuccessfully, and then they crash to the ground, and you sort of stagger back. And can you give me an armor roll, please?
Me?
No, Anton.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So this counts as a new scene, right?
It is a new scene, so the Blessed Shield has shielded off.
1.
1, okay. And the dagger is a D6, you all said, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Anton, you stagger back and feel something kind of something living kind of bump against your back. And it's just a little sharp pain. And as you walk forward and kind of look at your hand, someone appears to have stabbed you.
Okay.
Take 2 toughness.
Whip around and see who it is. Hopefully it's not Earthons.
No, it's not Earthons, who I probably should have narrated how he was reacting to the Ephanea stuff. But, you could just assure that he's basically like wrapped around Ephanea's
on my legs.
Sort of thing. Stood behind you, Anton, is a man in kind of soft, quite generic, but quite concealing soft black clothing, holding a bloodied knife. Standing alongside him are 4 or 5 other individuals dressed similarly and armed similarly, and standing just behind them are 2 individuals in long, flowing dark robes, one of whom is watching the situation with a sort of amused fancy on his face, and the other one is fully hooded and just has a kind of terribly pale, greenish cast to their flesh and has kind of no registering emotion. The individual who seemed amused at the fact that you'd just been stabbed and you're all fighting each other speaks, and the others of you, apart from Ephanea, register the presence of these people for the first time. And he says, "Well, you've come all this way, presumably after us, and here we find you ready for the taking." Oh, I'm sorry. Last time we met, I was wearing a different face.
A darko.
Yes. What are you doing? Because I can consider that there are different factors at play here of what you might want to prioritize.
I'm drawing my bow.
I am spending my action to stand up and get ready for a fight. Ephanea can have the vile water.
I'm casting Blessed Shields.
Okay. Right. Let's... okay. They don't appear to be immediately attacking you, by the way, so I don't know if you want to... Like, do you want to go into combat? Because they don't seem to be moving to going into combat, other than the fact they just stabbed Anton.
He did also just basically say that he was like,
Yeah, but
Theo understood from his little monologue.
Sure, yeah. That's fine. I'm saying they're not going into combat. So if you are, then we'll go into combat. But otherwise, they yeah. So that basically what I'm asking: are you just going to immediately attack them?
I'm standing ready with my very nice new spear.
Okay.
I will draw my bow, have it aimed at the one who was talking.
Ephenea.
Hello.
So I presume you're going for that
So-
water?
Absolutely. So Chris went to face off against the others, didn't he?
I don't think I think Theo is still stood near you, but has
But not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike is casting Blessed Shield. Is
Mhm.
Askarai still on me?
No.
No. In that case, I'm essentially, literally just going to run for it. Run for as quickly as I can.
Sure. So Anton, give me the resolute roll for that blessed shield, please.
I rolled 18.
Nope. Okay. Adarko is kind of going to step forward a bit and is peering at Ephenea, who's kind of like over by the vile water now and is sort of slowly in a measured fashion unscrewing the top on it, and kind of seems to be considering something and says, He holds out a hand to the hooded figure and sort of give me kind of gesture, and the hooded figure slowly reaches up and places the copper crown mounted on the skull in Adarko's hand. He looks up, ponders it for a second, and says, seems like we don't need this bit anymore. It flies through the air behind him, and kind of you hear a shattering noise further back in the corridor.
Well, that's at least one problem solved. So thank you, mysterious sir. But I am already well past confused by the stakes in this room right now. Is your goal to kill us, or do you just want the scary water? And apologies for being impolite, but today's been a bit of a fucking stress for me, gentlemen.
As this conversation is going on, Elle. So the carafe of vile water, it's the fluid inside is viscous and horribly glutinous. And maybe it's not exactly precise to say that Ephenea lifts it up. The being occupying Ephenea lifts it up, and a single obsidian droplet of the vile water drips into Ephenea's mouth. Can you gain 1 permanent corruption, please?
I can indeed. Yep. Done.
Yummy.
So Adarko shrugs and says, it's quite simple, really. You have done the dirty work for us. Thank you for leaving the gate open. We tried to come across the other way, but there's something rather unpleasant in that direction. Maybe you'll meet it soon. I haven't really made up my mind on what we're going to do with you. I mean, it seems that your friend there is performing a service that, I'll be honest, I would prefer not to have done myself. So I suppose we'll just make do with the tools we have.
Are you not controlling Ephenea?
Of course not. The king is.
Oh, and I just took a spear.
Another glutinous drop of vile water hits Ephenea's tongue. Ephenea, can you gain another permanent corruption, please?
Yes.
And a permanent point of strong. And lose a permanent point of cunning.
Okay, got it.
Can I see that Ephenea is currently drinking this bottle?
Oh, yes. Yeah, everyone can see this. kind of a noise, a wretched noise is emerging from Ephanea's mouth, kind of noise that you'd have considered Ephanea herself would make, a kind of hissing, wheezing, eons-old longing.
I would like to shoot this bottle of stuff.
Ooh, now I like that. I do like that. So, yeah, that's interesting. So, can you give me whatever roll? I think do you roll vigilant for your bowsman?
Yeah. Yep.
For ranged, yeah. Why don't you give me that roll? And it's in it's a smaller target, but it's in a fairly like static position at the moment. As Elle is like kind of glugging it down. So why don't you put a -3 on that?
Okay. I will need a 12. I got a 19.
Okay.
I might re-roll this. I feel like Ephanea is going to get absolutely fucked by this.
I feel like I've swayed you slightly by clearly making it apparent that I did not expect this. So, go for it. Go for it.
Okay.
Like the thing is, I can't think of any other way out of this scenario that has a stand chance of success.
We could try praying.
Yeah, that worked all 3 times we tried it in the previous session. So how about you shut up and get back to feeling healing roll?
Okay, I will spend my XP and try once more. I got a 1.
Oh my word. Okay. Let's do interesting things. So, as this conversation is happening between Adarko and you in general, Askarai suddenly and swiftly, before anyone can react, swivels round, knocks the arrow onto his bow, and it flies through the air and smashes through the carafe of vile water, sending glass shards and splatters of vile water everywhere over the chamber. A great deal of it, goes downwards, right? And covers Ephanea, covers her face, her throat, the exposed parts of her hands that were holding it. And some of the rest just splatters over the walls. And you know what? Let's make... You guys can roll your choice. And by you guys, I mean everyone but Ephanea. Can roll your choice of discreet or quick to try and avoid being tainted by the vile water.
I'll take a quick there, and I fail.
I rolled a 2 and I needed an 11.
Nice. I'm going to try discreet. I made it. I got a 9. I needed 13.
Okay, so just Steo then. As a splash from the vile water kind of hits you on your forearm, where some of your armor has been shredded away by the glowing guards, and you immediately feel your forearm just tingling and going oddly cold, and something kind of working its way through. You definitely don't feel like enough has hit you that it's kind of, the evil in the thing has burrowed its way inside you, but something has immediately definitely changed in your being. Gain 1 permanent corruption. And Ephanea.
Hello.
So I'm going to say, so that's that and that. That's that. And that. So I'm going to say we're going to go up to that.
This is the sign of I'm frantically pulling levers that were never.
You have 20 points of corruption.
No, you know what? I'm going to say another point of permanent corruption,
Mm-hmm.
another point of permanent strong,
Mm-hmm.
and another reduced point of permanent cunning.
All right, cool.
Part of the vile water has, as I say, like splattered across the walls and is kind of soaking into basically bits of the walls. Stone, bronze are starting to dissolve. And as you everyone kind of looks around shocked at what's happened, and you can see that rivulets of the vile water are starting to kind of form together and run through kind of cracks in the wall and kind of basically moving of their own accord. Some of them seem to be moving towards Ephenea, and some of them appear to be moving towards the bronze door.
I'm going to try and pull Ephenea away from it. And how does she look at this moment? I mean, obviously, kind of like covered in the kind of viscous liquid,
plastered in this stuff. But
like, does she look like, she kind of like passive, or is she like struggling to breathe still? Is she looking like on death's door?
Well, let's find out how Ephenea is doing. Ephenea, can you give me a resolve roll? Resolute? Roll, please, at -4.
I shall do. Let us do this. Where are you, dice roller? And I absolutely do not get it.
Is that a 20 or anything?
No, it wasn't horrendous. It was it was in a sense needed a 4, rolled a 5.
Oh,
Okay. Oh no. Ephenea is definitely not back to her senses, but rather than the calm, smooth movements of before, she looks like someone who is starting just at the very beginning of having a seizure, kind of shaking slightly, eyes rolling back a bit in her head.
I'm gonna pull out my vial again and rush over to her and like maybe quite forcefully like kind of grab her by the hair and try and tip some into her mouth, if that's possible.
As you do so, you hear from behind you a Darko's voice crying, "Quick, stop the priest!" And the cultists kind of barrel forwards, sort of knives out. Yeah, they're very keen on stopping this happening.
I will take up position by Antom in what might be my last great hurrah, summoning forth all of my many years' experience as a pikeman in Her Majesty's armies and defend that man.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock another arrow and start shooting these.
Absolutely. So as they kind of charge forward towards you, and you kind of the pair of you hold your ground, Antom, you manage to get a hold of Ephenea. Ephenea isn't resisting, and you just sort of pour some drops of the water of dusk into Ephenea's mouth, and there is immediately a reaction. A howling noise starts through the burial chamber, and it takes a moment before you all realize it's coming from the severed stump of the king's neck, sat on his throne. It starts as just a howl, but a wind starts to blow, and you're all kind of buffeted aside. The cultists charging at you kind of scramble around and try and hold their place as this happens. The vile water is rushing across the walls, and it's starting to pour out of Ephenea's mouth, out of Ephenea's eyes and ears, as she staggers backwards, kind of held. Anton, you try and hold her, but she kind of crashes into the throne on one side. The mummy is sent sprawling, and as the howl rises in pitch, every rune, around that giant brass door shatters hard. I'm going to say, let's have another one of those. You know what? I don't think discreet this time. Quick roll for everyone who's consciously nearby that door, because razor-sharp shards of stone have just erupted across the chamber. So everyone who's not Ephenea, give me a quick roll, please.
I make it.
Cool.
I don't make it. Needed 7, rolled 18.
I made it. I got 3.
Okay. Anton, give me an armor roll, please.
3.
Okay, yeah, you feel several pieces of stone impact you, but they get caught in your robes, or maybe you just got lucky. You're not sure. So here's the situation. Those runes have come off that door. Ephenea is still in some kind of trance for now. Although Elle, please roll resolute at a -3. Oh, you are muted.
Got a 3.
Yes.
So that's a success, right?
Yep.
Nice.
Okay. Ephenea, you were lost in some kind of... You felt like you were drowning in a pitch black lake. No sky, no bottom to it. Like an rushing, empty vastness of horrible, corrupting fluid. And you now feel like light is slowly appearing at the edges of your vision. The cultists are kind of picking themselves up off the floor, and like Adarko is doing so as well. The odd hooded figure with the deathly pallor is kind of almost haltingly, jerkingly kind of getting up with strange motions. And Adarko kind of blearily raises his head and says, "You have no idea what you..." The seals. No. The bronze door swings open, and inside, a treasure chamber. There are multiple items in there that look to be, well, Earthon's eyes are lighting up. Let's put it that way. I'll even read them out. Just, there's a large warhammer covered in verdigris, a carved wooden box with a bowing dwarf statue on the lid, a throwing axe with a glowing, oozing head, a hypnotic green glittering cape, a buckler engraved with a troll cross, a ritual codex of amazing design, a silver chest that seems to be full of Symbarian gold coins, and a small parched leather bag that has kind of enticingly complex shapes inside it. So you really don't know quite what Adarko was fearing at the opening of this door.
Money and problems, lads. Money and problems.
Ephenea, you're kind of coming to now. What are you going to do?
So, in all honesty, I feel like I'm going to kind of take away my player agency, and I think that after that, she's going to pass out a bit, because it has taken a huge toll on her body, and she's I mean, it may be a quick thing, but she's just kind of going to collapse, I think,
Sure.
after being possessed.
I think that's reasonable. So, Ephenea slumps over to one side and kind of, it seems conscious, but not really capable of doing anything.
Is the king's body, is it just on the floor?
Yeah, kind of sprawled along the floor. Adarko looks to be definitely panicking now and kind of the cultists are looking around with alarm, and you can all feel like a sort of faint vibration coming from all directions.
I'm going to kind of get on the floor and shake Effie and try and wake her up and shout, Effie!
Have we activated like an Indiana Jones boulder? Like,
I'm going to deliberately step in front of Ephenea, and that'll be my battle line. If anyone comes and looks like they're engaging me, they're going to meet a spear.
Okay, the cultists are just looking around panicked. Odarko kind of like looks around and kind of curses and turns to the hooded figure and says, just kind of snarls at it, with me, and dashes off. And as he does so, you all start to hear the rushing noise, like a flood coming. And it's coming. It sounds like it's coming from the direction of the entrance to the tomb. Can everyone who's conscious give me a cunning roll, please?
Question: is mine still permanently like altered?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Go.
6, which is a success, I should point out.
Fail for me.
Fail, I got 13.
18.
Okay.
I'm not conscious.
Stio. So Odarko called those the seals. There were seals you were asked to remove in this that would allow spirits access to this tomb. And you know that Xanathar is not the only spirit that wants in.
It should be obvious, lads, that something is on its way. Can we get Effie up and make? Can the door? Is the door to the treasure chamber? It's not shuttable. The seals are broken. It doesn't matter. We can't lock it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm open for suggestions, but unless our benevolent spider goddess, older than time itself, decides to make a personal appearance at this stage, I think discretion right now is not up for debate.
The cultists, who looked confused for a second, kind of look at each other and then dash after Odarko, kind of they're a fair bit behind him, because about 10 or 15 seconds or so have passed. They dash into the chambers beyond where you are, and you hear a chorus of screams ring out.
We can't go that way.
The treasure chamber is no exit. Yeah, it's not a through path.
No.
Okay,
it's a chamber just with those things.
Is there any other passageway leading off from this room?
No. I mean, the one you came from, yes, which is where everyone else fled.
Okay, everyone get into the far corner, away from the treasure. We make our last stand there. Come on the double.
Drag Effie as best as I can.
I'll be helping with Effie as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be trying to wake her up as well. Maybe in a friendly manner. I will put the boot in.
I'm gonna head to just look down the passageway.
You can't really see anything because of the it's all in torchlight, but you do see that torchlight seems to be receding towards you, and there's a horribly kind of slightly like liquid or slightly like a wind noise, and the darkness seems to be creeping towards you, and there's a horrible wave of cold passing over your body.
I will back up. Something is definitely coming.
Askar, you get behind me. You're better at range. Anton, can you wake Ephenea up? We need her blade.
If we can get her up, maybe we can run.
There's no mechanical thing for this, so I guess, Elle, are you happy to be awake?
Yeah, like if someone basically, if I'm shook really hard or slapped in the face, I will probably wake. Just pull myself around.
Sure. Okay, so as you stand there, backed into the corner, the creeping darkness washes into the chamber, washes across the walls and around and through and between each of you. There is nothing physical there, at least at the point you are now, and you feel a horrific cold burn through you right to your very bones. And it seems like just before each of you cries out in sudden agony, there is a flare from the back of your necks, from the small wounds left by Zanatha's bite, and a heat rushes through you. And clearly the touch of this thing is deadly, but whatever Zanatha did do, the kiss she gave you, it seems to have worked.
Yes.
But none of you can see anything. The entire chamber is full of a liquid darkness.
Can you hear me?
I'm here.
You can all hear each
Yeah.
other. There's a kind of like rushing noise around you, but you can hear.
I
If there's anything Prios can do to help us, now would be the time.
What's what's on the other end of the Zanatha phone? If I kind of project my thoughts, is her presence?
No, it doesn't really work that way, I'm afraid. It's
Just checking.
definitely a one-way phone line.
I was just checking. And the torches aren't out. It's just that light no longer can live in this room.
I would say the torches are out because of the cold, probably. Yeah, I mean, you can't tell that unless, you grab the torch and put your hand over it, because you cannot see a thing.
Yeah, okay, well, I'll do that to get that information. But okay, the darkness here is from the spirit realm, but we seem to be safe for now. My suggestion is we grab what we can from that chamber so that Erfons doesn't get angry, and then we get out here while we're still alive.
I agree. We should be quick. Something else surely will be following this thing.
What's that based on?
Well, we know that it's not just whatever this is coming for the vile water. It's Zanatha, and it's the other.
FNA, are you with us? Yeah.
just
Okay. And you're feeling okay, yeah? Right. Let's go. Let's grab what you can. Let's make a move.
Let's hold on to each other as well. We need to
Yeah.
make sure that we don't lose each other and stick to the same wall. Always keep on touching the wall so that we know where we are.
As you make your way forwards, all of you feel some kind of other presence enter the room. Like this initial wave of creeping darkness was somehow shrouding something at the center of it, and a low kind of hissing noise rises in front of you.
Okay, I'm going to cast Holy Aura.
Okay.
I'm going to draw Black Gift, and I am going to activate it.
Okay. Like, are you going to kind of swing as well? Or are you just going to make the flames?
I'm just going to make,
erupt?
Precautionary flames.
Yeah. Because in the pitch darkness where light cannot exist, what we need right now is black fire from the Nega spirit realm.
How'd that resolute roll go, Mike?
Went successfully. I needed 13. I rolled 7.
Nice. So, in this like wash of darkness around you all, kind of a rich physical darkness, two not really sparks of light, but visible light emerges. One is kind of the glittering, almost sunspot effect erupts around Anton as his holy aura rolls and tries to fight back against the darkness. And the other is Black Gift, which erupts in black and purple flame. And by the light of both those things, briefly before the darkness washes over you again, in front of you, you see it's just darkness against darkness, a black, undescribable shape in the center of all of this, kind of tide of oblivion around you, and it gives a shrieking hiss, and for a moment you see it move very fast towards you all, and then everything is illuminated. You just see flashes, basically. A flash of purple flame here, a glint off Antom's aura there, and the rest is chaotic darkness. And normally I'd go, hey, let's get a couple of combat rounds in before, the end of the stream. But I feel like this is quite climactic here. So we probably want to have that climactic thing happen entirely in another session. So
that's going to be really cool to draw.
Yeah.
That's going to be really awesome.
I just one very gamey point of order. Is that aura going to be up for one turn? Because I'd love that D6 of health.
Oh yeah, it will be, but we'll deal with that as we roll into next week.
Okay.
So there, bit of a premature ending there, folks. A few minutes earlier than we normally do, but thank you. So we normally have people. We have like an FAQ bit at the end where people ask questions or put comments in, and John flashes them up on screen. So if you've got anything like that, then pop it in, and we will do our best to address it. Otherwise, there's all the promo stuff to do. So we have links down below: social media, which is usually Tongue Tales RP. We have a link to YouTube, which has all our VODs stored on it. We've got a link to Patreon, should you want to support us. We also have another ongoing series on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. That's right here on Twitch. That's Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. We've also got on Saturday a very exciting thing. This Saturday, February the 6th, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon GMT, we'll be running our first big one-shot story, like a longer one-shot session, and we'll be running Alien from Free League, which is an excellent little system. So we'd love to see you there. I think that's it. So is there anything from chat, John, Jonathan, John Boy? How much did Ascarai change your plans for that scene? Entirely. Entirely. Yeah. Entirely.
And that is where all of the best scenes happen.
Oh, yeah. For the last 45 minutes, I've been desperately scrabbling to improvise. So it's all good. It's all good.
They were going to make it out alive, but not after that.
Nah, you're fucked. This is my punishment for you being a creative individual. No.
I am absolutely shook. What an amazing last 20 minutes of a session.
Yeah,
very good stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus.
I'm glad. So looks like there's no more comments or questions. So thanks to players as always for doing a great job and turning up and tolerating my babble. Thanks to John for stream managing as always, and thanks to you for watching. And please do tune in on Saturday. It'll be great to see as many people as possible for that alien thing.
And tune in next Wednesday where we find out what the fuck is going
next
on.
Wednesday, where I definitely feel like I thought we might conclude Tomb of Dying Dreams tonight, but I think we'll almost certainly wrap up this storyline next week. So yes, thanks everyone, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye. Goodbye.